Sunshine. Where are you, Sunny? Here you go. Just waiting for Sunshine to join. Gonna talk about Stranger Things fur. Was your camera backwards?
Listen, I'm very prepared.
Oh, hi, Sunshine. Welcome. Glad you could join our live.
Yeah, well, I'm here. I'm here for the party. Woo!
We are going.
Spoilers.
Yeah, you're able to title it. I don't know if you noticed it, but I titled it.
Yeah, I'm super excited for you.
Should we do a breakdown of the first volume drop?
Okay, so we did that, right? And then we recorded this whole thing.
Sorry.
And then I don't want to brag, but I'm not great with technology. And so that being said, I ended up deleting the
that was when
entire
Kelly
thing.
jumped on.
Yeah, but didn't somebody else jump on too, or was going to jump on, or maybe Chrissy popped it? I don't know. We had a few different.
Yeah. Chrissy was texting, but she's like, "Don't put me on camera."
Yeah, I don't watch Stranger Things. And Kelly was like, I watch, but only 3 episodes of season 1. So to be fair, these women are really busy too. So, okay. So, and Tina, what's going on?
No, sorry. I was trying to fix it.
Okay, so number one, we just want to point out there will be spoilers. If you have not watched the drops that have come out with Stranger Things,
Volume 1.
We have finished the entire season and we will be discussing it. If you don't want to know, don't watch. Okay, so I don't know how to
watch the second season together, which was
in
awesome.
person.
The second volume.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was a roller coaster. But just to wrap up, you want to wrap up really where we started season 4 and where it ended, and I really want you to mention some of your predictions because a lot of them came true, and then you have really good predictions for season 5 that I think you should mention.
Okay, well, number one, I just want to talk about a couple of the characters that I love, and if I'm pronouncing his name right, I believe it's Argyle, our pizza driver guy. Daisy, stop. Our pizza driver guy. That's my dog. And I love this character, and he's a complete trip in more ways than one. Also, I love Murray. And one of my favorite scenes from season 4 was Murray is sitting at the dinner table with Joyce and all the kids, and he goes, "I don't know who this guy is." And then about Argyle. And then they keep eating, and then all of a sudden, the conversation's kind of intense, and then Argyle goes, "I still don't know who this guy is."
Yeah,
nobody
acknowledges it, which was even funnier.
Yeah, nobody says anything, and the fact that Joyce was, she could have just broken that Russian doll that came, pretty easily. Instead, she has it over a tree with a rope in front of neighbors. I'm like, you could have just cracked that head on, a kitchen counter and broke it, but she chose not to do.
He thought it was explosive.
Well, that's true, because we're talking about Murray. And one of my favorite scenes I just got to bring up is when Joyce and Murray are in the plane and they're going to take down Enzo. Is that the right name? Enzo? Yeah, they're going to take him down. And so he starts talking about the fact that, he's been a black belt and everything. And then Joyce is like, he can't hear anything back here. So they knock over the Jif peanut butter bottles. And Murray says something along the lines of he doesn't want to fight on a plane or whatever. And, he seems like intimidated. And she goes, it was black, right? The black belt, it was black. As if, kind of to make fun of him.
How old were these students that you sparred with? Because he goes, I never sparred out of class. And he goes, they don't go younger than 13.
Yeah. They're my hand, I can't remember the exact wording, but my hand's a spiz. Or maybe it was his legs or something. But it was just absolutely a fantastic. Their chemistry, the way they play off each other is so good.
They are
so great. Oh, absolutely. I seeing Hopper the way that you see him when when the show first dropped, before the final two episodes dropped, and you see Hopper, it was kind of like startling to see him. Now, as a fan, you see him like because I follow him on Instagram, so you see the actor, you see these things, but to see him the way they showed him in season 4, I think that was hard to take because we're used to the really robust Hopper. So to see him, and can I just say, like, Elle broke my heart. So she's writing those letters to Mike, and she's like, my friends, and everything's good, and everything's great. And then we find out that she's being bullied. And I was one of the ones, as shocked as I was by the skate scene where she hits that girl with the skate. I was also like, bitch deserved it, right? Like, because she was mean. She was like hardcore mean to Elle.
They made fun
And
of her little diorama with. She's like my hero is my dad. Who
yeah.
makes fun of that? And then they knock it over.
Well, not only that, but when that girl was like, I thought this was supposed to be someone, famous from history or something like that, like knocking her for Daisy enough, knocking her for doing that whole thing. And I thought that was really sad. Yeah, and you're right when they, messed it up.
And God bless Will. He comes over like they really connected, brother and sister vibes. And he's like, we
Oh
can
yeah, for
fix this.
sure.
I'll help you fix it.
Yeah, because he like really, I think he cares about her. I don't think he cares about her anything other than a friendship
No, no,
level,
no.
which leads me to the whole thing where I happen to think Will is gay, and I think that he has a thing for Mike. And I think it, like when they're sitting in the back of the van and they're having that conversation, I can't remember the wording exactly, but at one point Mike turns. Oh, he's telling him he's the heart. He's telling Mike, "You're the heart of the
He
group."
showed him that picture he drew.
Right. And then he turns to the side and he covers his mouth and you see he's crying. Like, I think for Will, Mike is the heart of the group. And
But I
so,
love that Jonathan caught on because he's like a dumbass this season, but he was
right.
listening and he caught on.
Yeah, when he was telling him, when you were little and you stuck want us to say it was a Lego or whatever up his nose, or,
Yeah,
and he's sharing
little
that
Lego
story.
man. Yep.
Yeah, with the construction hat or whatever.
Yeah.
And I thought that was great. But Argyle, man, this guy gets away with everything when he's like, Nina could be behind a tree.
The thing
Like,
is, a little girl could be behind a little tree. This motherfucker gets out and looks behind a little tree. And
Nina, it just slayed me. And can we just talk about Matthew Modine? Like, he is fantastic. Like, yeah, giant hands. Like, Tina and I must have made fun of that like 8 times because his hand, when he's like puts it on the side of Elle's head, it like basically covers like everything.
tell me it wasn't bigger than fucking Vecna's hands.
I know, it was like I was waiting for him to lift somebody up in the air. I was super excited because I called Vecna. Do you remember that, Tina? I was
Oh,
like,
it
I
was
think
such a
he's
joy
Vecna.
watching things with Sunny when she predicts, watch this, he's gonna trip. Sunny did call it. I didn't think I really liked number one or we knew him at first as number one, and he was helping out in the facility, and I really liked him. I thought he was so nice to 11, and Sonny kept saying, there's something off about him, and little by
Something's
little.
not right. Like, why is he helping her? And then I started having these theories. Well, maybe he's Elle's real father. Maybe he raped her mother. Maybe this is like I kept
Somebody
thinking
else
all these.
theorized that, yeah, on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I had all these different thoughts of maybe what was going on, and maybe he knew that that was his daughter. And I gotta say, man, well done to the writers for making us believe that Elle was the cause behind everyone dying. Tina was so mad. Like I remember her being like, "That I don't like Elle anymore." And I was like, "No, there's something else behind
I was
it."
like,
Like,
fuck that little kid.
yeah, yeah. And so, and especially when when Papa comes out and he's like, "What did you do?" And it's the way he speaks to her, like, and I just got to give it up for Paul Reiser. I've liked Paul Reiser for a long time over the years. I've been a fan. Um, but to see him do such a fantastic job in this role, and the fact that at first I thought he was this horrendous bad guy, but now it seems that he really cares about Elle. So when he was like, "No, she's leaving," like we said we would let her leave, she's leaving. And then I kept saying, "They're going to kill him. They're going to kill him." Like, and then to see that he was like,
He was
basically hurt
handcuffed.
and then handcuffed to a wall, right, on this bar or whatever. And it's like, so we don't really know what's happening with him. We don't know, like, is he alive? Is he dead?
Yeah, because the
Like,
military came in. That's right, and then they were shooting at the military that worked in the facility, and we
right.
kind of are left to believe that either he was left there to fend for himself or he was executed. You know?
Yeah. And I got to tell you, I don't really believe that Papa's dead. Like, I know we see it, but how many times have we watched shows and been like, that person's
Well,
dead? I
Sonny,
am, yeah.
here's another thing, really quick. When Elle tells Vecna that Papa's dead, and Vecna kind of shows interest, it makes you wonder if Vecna was able to see himself if he was dead or not, and realize no, he's not dead. He's in bad shape, and thought Elle was a liar. You know.
Right. That's a really good point. I didn't think about that. One of the things I kind of wanted to bring up again, we talked about it before I deleted the last episode. But that was what a great job with the Max character this season. Number one, I like the way she was introduced, right? When she first came on the show, I really liked the whole thing. And but this season, she like it's this whole thing like when she's running and she's in like the house of Vecna, right, and she's running and everything's collapsing around her and it's real red, it's real dark. And as someone who has dealt with depression and anxiety, when you see Max running and everything's kind of collapsing, but you could see that circle and it almost looks like the circle's getting smaller and she's trying to run for it and she sees the blue sky and the white clouds and her friends and she's trying to get there. I feel like that's what someone who deals with anxiety and depression deals with. You're trying to get back to your real life, and instead you're clouded by all these things. And I can't be the only one who feels that way. There has got to be a lot of people who are like that hit home for a reason. Like I cried. I remember telling you, it literally moved me, that scene,
Well, I
when she's
told you
crying.
that scene. No scene in the history of what I've seen has made me cry like that.
Yeah, and the history of Stranger Things, like it's pretty
No, and
powerful,
any show or movie, it was
right?
ever. Like that's exactly how I felt. Like you're literally trying to get out of that dark tunnel, and you have all these Vecnas like knocking down stones in front of her, trying to trip her and mess her up, and you want to fight. You want to fight to live, even though like she's been down all season. She's been like, guilty over Billy's death and all that stuff, and just the metaphor, you said it exactly. It's running out of that fucking dark tunnel, and the song that they picked, running up that hill, even though Sonny thought there was a hill, but there wasn't. Um, but it was everything. It was her running, Vecna fucking with her friends screaming. Her friends were like devastated. You could see them, and the whole Max, please, Max.
Yeah, and I just gotta say how much we have loved Eddie. Like, so Eddie first comes on, and at first I'm like, oh, he's gonna be a bad guy. Like, this dude's a bad guy, right? And within an episode and a half, I was hooked with Eddie. I was like, this is a great character. And so just the whole way that they played that up, that this is like not not Mr. Fantastic at school, right? Like there's a whole group of athletes already who have taken the cake with all that. And then here's Eddie. And I just really dug the vibe, and I really dug the vibe between Eddie and Steve. And there's this whole like little thing where Eddie and Steve are having a conversation about Dustin, and they're like, "Yeah, he gets snappy," and it's like, "Yeah, it's a tone." Like they're talking about Dustin's tone when he talks, and it made me laugh because you know if we go back to Steve, hang on. Let me just double check something real quick. But Steve went from being like, and like, I didn't get this. I'm not saying this because I thought of it, but it's all over like TikTok and Twitter and everything. But Steve went from being, like, like, this guy who comes in, doesn't want anything to do with these kids, to all of a sudden being like Big Brother. Right.
This jerk jock, popular, just little asshole. Yeah, now he's like a dad babysitter.
He is. He's got that whole dad vibe. And, I didn't realize there were so many Nancy haters out there. I just didn't know that. And then I was talking to a few different people, and they don't really like Nancy because they feel like she flip flops between Jonathan and Steve. And I gotta say, I feel like her and Steve are like, they have that connection where I feel like with her and Jonathan, it is more, they were there for each other at a time when they needed it, but then they grew in different ways. So she's growing and she's kind of moving forward, and Jonathan's basically, not that I have an issue with anyone who smokes pot, but he's basically, that's been his whole thing, like just smoking pot and not really caring about anything.
Well, yeah, Steve and Nancy were together first. They really liked each other, and I think Nancy lose her virginity to Steve?
Yeah.
And then her and Jonathan really only got together because of like a high
I
intense.
always say because of Murray.
Well,
Because remember Murray was like, there's a bed. Like,
he goes like, I have a pull. Did you pull out? Jonathan,
and
like,
that's the thing with Murray. It's all these little things. Like I said this in the last episode before I deleted everything and we lost it. But so I think Murray. So Murray to me is not that guy where you're going to look at him and be like, "Oh wow, Murray." But if you're hanging out with a guy like this who is that funny, that charismatic, like, I think you can't help but fall a little bit in love with him. He is a complete like hoot, man. I love this guy.
He's my all-time favorite character.
Well, and he left us at the end of season 4 going, "Where's Murray?
Yeah,
where is Murray? Where is Murray?" I feel like I need to put his picture on a milk carton. No. Like, where is Murray? Like, I need to know that he's okay.
I think he joined the KGB.
I think he's staying in Russia. Yeah. The KGB will wait for no one. I don't know. That's from The Office. It has nothing to do with anything. But okay, so I have to talk about Hopper again real quick. When Hopper and Joyce see one another, and there's that whole moment where he can't hardly believe it, and it kind of got me a little bit. So she kind of rushes to him, hugs him, and he's kind of frozen for a moment, and then he finally puts his arms around her, and you see the smile escape him. Like,
he probably thought he was fucking hallucinating.
Oh, I'm sure. He's like, I'm transcending. So yeah,
Michael Myers.
My evil dies tonight.
Oh,
the Demogorgon dies tonight. Vecna dies tonight. I'm just gonna keep going on and on and on. Go ahead. The Upside Down dies tonight. Okay. I'm done. I promise you.
How you mentioned all the callbacks to the different horror movies.
Yes. Yeah, I thought that was like, no, I'm saying it, but I thought it was really cool the way they tied all that in. So you had Robert Englund, who played the father of this little boy who turns out to be Vecna, right? Yeah. And just the fact that he played him, and you wouldn't even know it was him at first until you hear that voice. And then you hear the voice and you're like, oh, that was Freddy Krueger. Right. And then not only that, but in the little video shop, they had the cutout of Freddy. Right. And then they have a scene where Eddie is wearing the Michael Myers mask, and he comes around the corner and you see his head kind of pop out. I thought that was actually kind of comical, and I thought it was a great way that they did that. I believe there was a scene or something where, like, it was kind of like trying to remember because we talked a lot about this, and I know I'm forgetting some, but there was a lot of
Oh,
throw.
Carrie.
Yes, Carrie. So when Max is in, like, it looks like a prom, and all the balloons are popping, and they're like blood. That was fantastic. I mean, what a great job that they did with. Oh, and then with even Robert England inside the jail cell, I was like, that's so like Hannibal Lecter. You
Yeah,
know, the
because
way
they were
like,
like, don't go near the cell. They were saying.
yeah, don't go near it. You know, and so, and then when it's revealed who Vecna is, you know, in regards to Robert England, like, you're like, oh, now, like, because I didn't catch that right away. Right, it took me a little bit, and then it was like, oh, like, he's alive, he's not dead. Because I remember at one point they let us believe that both the
The whole
kids had
family
died.
died. Yeah.
Right, and then you go, oh, okay, that's not the case. And I'm still not getting the whole point about these stupid spiders, right? Because remember, Vecna's all like, oh, those spiders. And he's like, opens up that little thing, and the spiders are crawling on him. And
Oh, I gotta
I was
bring up
like, big boy, get some raid.
quick one quick thing. So the first thing he kills when he finds out he has powers is a rabbit, and they had said that his sister's name I think was Alice, and
Right.
Alice in Wonderland. So that was another kind of throw.
Well, I also think they're doing a lot of those little things because I think we're going to find out a time travel thing. And so one of the reasons why is on Eddie's arm, he has tattoos and they look like bats, right?
Maybe Eddie will come back.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, so if they're doing a time travel thing, like, that's why he would have those, maybe to remind him of what his goal is or what he has to
I
beat.
didn't even think of that.
Yeah. So, and remember, like in the very beginning when the show first opens and Elle was talking for the season, and she said, we're all time travelers if you think about it. So there's that whole little thing, right?
Oh,
So,
and the Back to the Future thing in the last season 3 when they
right.
walked in the movie theater and it was Back to the Future.
Exactly. So, I mean, I think that would be pretty cool. So, like, even if we lose some of these characters. So, one of my predictions is that I think Vecna is living inside of Max.
Oh, that's
And the reason I
genius.
believe that is because he had her up in the air. Her arms were, clearly she's
One of her
broken.
arms broke, one of her legs broke. Yeah.
Well, I think it was more than that because when you see her at the end of season 4, she's in the hospital and every single limb is
Well, I
bandaged
think
up.
when she fell too, because I only saw him break the one arm and the one leg. She lost her sight. She was alive for a little bit, but then it's what you said when Will felt the hairs on his neck and he said, "Vecna's still alive, but he's in a lot of pain." And
Yeah.
Max is in a coma. 11 tried to infiltrate her mind and couldn't hear anything. So I kind of hope you're wrong, but you're probably right. Only because that was like Max went through all that shit, and then for that to happen was so hard to watch. It was so excruciating. It's not fair.
Yeah.
She was. Remember, Lucas was like she was dead for a minute. Her
Yeah.
heart stopped, and
Well, the reason, yeah, and the thing is, like, everybody could say, well, Elle brought her back, but what if Vecna brought her back? And so, like, you kind of think about that, because we don't know, because if they can piggyback off one another, because Elle piggybacked off of Vecna. So what if Vecna could piggyback off of Elle, right? So you gotta wonder about that.
I didn't even
And
think
so,
of that. Maybe you're right. It wasn't 11 that fucking saved
well,
Max.
because remember I am positive, I'd have to go back and rewatch, but when Robin, Nancy, and Steve are in the area with Vecna and they're like throwing the bottles at him and setting him on fire, I'm positive that's about the time that Max, like Max was out. She was gone. Right. So that's why I'm thinking that was the one thing he still had control over. He still had control over Max. So why wouldn't he link to her some way? Like if you think of it like
Use her as a vessel. You mean like?
well, yeah, because I mean, if you think of it like a computer program, why wouldn't he just like upload into her? right?
But
Like if you
does that mean that the man that played Vecna won't be in the show? Oh no, if they're time traveling, he would still be in the show.
he'd still be there, yeah. Like, and it kind of did a kind of a time travel type thing. I mean, not sort of, kind of, when like poor Elle was going back and forth to a little kid to an adult, little kid to an like not an adult but older. Like it was kind of creepy how they did that because when she was seeing that stuff, she was in the saltwater bath, right? And so you think about that. So I'm just
I
kind
know
of
where we could find 600 pounds of salt.
dude, that was one of the best scenes. The way he walked in there and he's like, dude, like I was like, it's like Cheech and Chong all over again, just funnier.
The other
Like,
guy was just like him, dude.
yeah, I got plans. Like, it was fantastic. So I just think the season was so well done. And then freaking Eddie, man. So when he cuts the sheets, so he's trapped in the upside down, and our sweet little Dustin, who has just been
All
like
heart.
yeah, I mean we all love Dustin, right? And so when Dustin is like Eddie, and he's screaming because he's still in the upside down, his friend who he loves, and so he's trying to get back into the upside down. You see him stacking up the chairs. And in the meantime, I thought we were going to see Eddie back up on top of the roof playing again. That was my first thought. He's going back there because he's not running. That's what he means. But then when we see what's really going on and he's on that bicycle, and we're like there's no way he can outrun all these things. So when we see Eddie and we know he's not going to make it. We know he's not going to make it. The only thing that makes me think that it's okay is the fact that Eddie already had died in the past. So he knew that in order to reach this outcome, he had to give up. Like he had to go. But there's a whole nother thing where like maybe he didn't, where he's seeing all this, where he knows. So it just makes me wonder, are they going to time travel back and they're going to know that Eddie died, but they're going to get to see him again?
You know what would be
So
cool is if they're all in the upside down, including Eddie, looking at what's happening and they're able to stop. I think that would be so fucking cool.
I'd like to see Chrissy there because there's so many people that are like, Chrissy and Eddie should have had a chance, but then Chrissy died in that episode in Eddie's trailer, right? And so, but man, job well done to like this guy. Like, I believe his name is Joseph Quinn, who plays Eddie, and like he just came on the show, man, and he brought so much energy. Like, when Billy came on the show, Billy was like a bad guy. Like, you knew Billy was a bad guy. But there's something about this character that came on where Billy was dark. Eddie came in and he was like such light, right? He was like joyful and funny and
But
like all these different things.
that's what made me sad. I was telling you, like, remember all the energy, almost like ADD energy. Like he wouldn't stop talking. He was so hyper, but he was like a happy guy, and like all this, we didn't get to see a lot of that. And then if you think about it, had Chrissy never gone to him for drugs, like literally, this guy was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. He had nothing to do with anything, with none of this. And I was sad that the rest of the season, although he had a good sense of humor, you didn't see that hyper side to him anymore. It was
Right.
all, that made me sad.
Yeah, I thought it was crazy. And one of the scenes I want to talk about real quick, because I remember it literally scared me.
Oh,
Number one,
it
I'm
was
not
another one.
the what? It, you said?
The movie It was also represented in
Yeah, okay. Now, when was that, though?
the red balloons that were popping like Carrie, no?
No, those are blue balloons. We're
They were?
like, yeah, but wasn't there a scene with like early on in the first couple episodes that had an It throwback?
I know
Maybe
you
I'm
said it.
tripping. I'm convinced there was, but I can't recall it. But one of the scenes that really scared me. So Eddie is trying to get away in that little boat, right? Like he's on the lake, whatever, and these guys are swimming after him.
Camp Crystal Lake. That was
Yes.
Jason.
Yeah, you got it. And so anyway, so this guy gets lifted, like first he's pulled under the water, and then he gets like he's lifted up in the air. Now, keep in mind, Eddie's already seen this with Chrissy. So, like, when he falls into the water, I'm not even shocked. Like that had to have scared the hell out of him. But that scene freaked me all the hell out. Like to see, like, he's in the water and Vecna can get you even there. Like, doesn't matter where you go, he can get you. And I think that's what's terrifying. So we had some predictions on who we thought was going to die, and I kept saying Max is going to die. Like, because I thought all it's going to take is for her to not have, like, for her to run out of batteries. Like, how many batteries could you possibly have for that stupid little Walkman? Like back in that day, that's when the battery charger things were all like a big thing. You put the batteries in there, but that would mean literally that she's carrying that around. She's carrying extra batteries around, all to keep this Walkman running, right? And this is like, it's just not possible. So then in that scene where she takes off the Walkman and sets it on the table, I was losing my mind. And I was like, don't do that. Don't do that. Like, it freaked me out. Because I think just, as fans, we've been watching this for a while. We know that that's not a great thing to do because now she's separated from the one thing that can protect her. But how sweet was that scene with Lucas and Max just before all that went down when they couldn't speak, but they were writing back and forth to each other? Nothing.
No, that was really heartwarming. I thought you were gonna mention like when Erica comes in there after she kicked that dude in the nuts after getting who attacked a little girl, by the way.
Oh, that
And
pissed me off. Yeah.
I know it pissed you off. And then she comes in there and Lucas is like, Erica, call 911, get help, help. It was like,
And he was screaming like, and then the fact that you could see Elle sitting with him, but he couldn't see Elle, and Elle's heart was breaking. Like, oh, that was pretty horrendous. That whole thing, And then when that jerk comes in, and he's
I hate
like,
that fucking kid. Oh my.
yeah, when he's like, bring her back, like whatever, and he's like, I can't, like, and he's trying to explain it, and it's just,
The only thing that
man,
pissed me off is when they were fighting, Lucas should have said when he started to see her rise, okay, I'm gonna wake her up. Maybe he could have
right.
got to her, I didn't understand that part.
But I think one of our favorite scenes, and I could kind of speak for you on this, is when Hopper walks in and Elle is there, and it's just like, so there's her hero, right? Like, I thought that was so beautifully done, because for you want the reunion between Joyce and Hopper. But to see Hopper reunited with this little girl who has become his daughter, especially after he's already lost a daughter, and to see that moment where they're together again. So when it comes to predictions for next season, I'm kind of hoping we see the time travel thing. I think that'd be really cool if you were to see. I'm kind of hoping it was already done, like already filmed, like they already knew this was going to happen. But it'd be kind of cool to go back and see little Will and Lucas and Mike and Dustin again, like when they were little and doing the Dungeons and Dragons thing. I think that'd be so cool to see.
Them
Um,
watching themselves as little kids, like maybe they
yeah,
could stop it. Remember, I kept saying I thought Will was gonna die because it started with Will, you know.
right. And he
But
still
I
kind of
just,
has that connection to the whole, upside down, and he always
I,
will.
I just want to add one more thing. Well, two more things. Number one, I thought it was really endearing when the kids, after all that, went to fucking help. Um, you know, they're like, just put us anywhere, and then Dustin runs into Eddie's uncle and gives him
Yeah,
that necklace. That destroyed me. But I know this is, and I don't mean this like in any disrespectful way, but I thought it was so cool how like the ground opened up and the fire, comes out, and like they're doing the whole like the fourth person that ended up dying was Eddie, and they said once the fourth person dies, it's like the four horsemen of the apocalypse and all that stuff, and it was,
right.
and then Mike's dad is funny too. He goes, Oh, they're saying hell is rising on Earth.
So it's all because he says it like, oh, these idiots. It's kind of how that comes off when he says it. It's like, dude, you have no idea what your son's been dealing with, okay? Like, you need to start paying attention. Absolutely fantastic.
And the
But
mother,
go
the
ahead.
mother's like, "You're never going anywhere again."
And then 5 minutes later, he's gone. He's like at the cabin, like, cleaning up the Hopper's cabin.
Oh, him and Hopper's interaction was cute too.
Yeah,
Because
that really was
Hopper,
cute. That was really cute. I too liked that they were helping out and serving their community and pitching in where they could. I like when, so Steven, Steve, he's, helping out with the clothes or whatever, and he looks over and Robin's happy and he's smiling for her. And I think it shows how far Steve has come as a character because Steve was very selfish in those first few episodes. I did want to mention one behind the scenes thing that my cousin Marty told me that I thought was so cool. So the guy who played Billy, he couldn't come back and record because he's from Australia and they wouldn't let him leave because of COVID. So they had to record that the graveyard scenes with him, basically like I don't want to say it was Zoom, but it was basically similar to that, where they had to record him and then basically put like cut Max into it. Right. And I thought that was so cool and so well done. Like,
yeah,
and then
that was
we just
awesome.
found out that the sword, when Hopper defeats the Demogorgon, we found out that's the actual sword from I was going to say Conan O'Brien, but that's not right.
Conan the Barbarian.
Thank you. Yeah, so I thought that was so cool, like really exciting stuff. Um, yeah, but basically, the predictions for next time, I do believe that Vecna is living within Max. And I think Lucas is going to be the first one to find out because I don't think he's going to leave her side. And I think he's going to try to battle it on his own because he's not going to want Max to leave him and he's going to believe she's in there somewhere. Um,
Imagine they
I,
save Alexei.
hmm?
Remember Alexei, the cute Russian guy with
Yes.
lipstick? Imagine they're able to save him. Like, I don't know if it would be a cop out if they're able to kind of stop all this and everyone ends up
Right.
being okay. I don't know if people would be pissed about that, but
I think it'd be kind of cool, like to see what would have happened. But then you got to understand, like some of the relationships aren't going to be what they are, because now the kids haven't battled all this together. So now some of those friendships aren't going to be as solid.
wait, you saying like after they do all that, like they won't remember that they did it, or?
I'm saying, like, if they go back and they're able to stop a lot of it.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
so all these friendships that have solidified while they're battling these monsters and all this stuff, they're not going to be as strong. So, like, let's say I
Oh,
was
they
able
may
to
not
go
even
back
know
in
11.
time and there was no Twitter, then you and I probably would have never met, right? Like, think about it in those terms. Like, so there would probably be, there's not going to be an L or, L
Yeah, I was just
Michael.
gonna
And,
say they're not gonna even know 11 exists or any of that.
yeah. But I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere in Eleven's mind she still knew it and was tortured by that. Like that would be torture. Like in order to save the world, she had to give up Mike, right? Like, and then think
Yeah,
poor Hopper, like he wouldn't have. Go ahead.
no, I was just saying, you see her. I could see her like checking in on them, and
Right,
she can't interact with them. That would be fucking gut wrenching.
right. But I feel like so, like, let's say it didn't like that, then at the end of season 5, because that's the final season. Is that I feel like it would be something like maybe it would happen with Hopper or whatever, but Hopper would be somewhere and he would see her and then they would hold eye contact for a minute, like somewhere
Oh
in
my god, it's Ian. Hi, Ian.
so like hi Ian, so somewhere in his frame of mind, like he would know, like so if we're on board at all, like in the right place, Hopper would know in some level that at what point in time he knew L if it did turn into a time travel thing. But like that's the Alice in
Should we
Wonderland
should
thing we
should,
were
should we
talking
invite
about.
should we invite Ian to join? Ian, you
I
want to come on? Hold on, let me see.
He's like, no, I don't want to come on. I don't even like you
You did
people.
not just call me a lady. Ian.
What do you want him to call you?
Where's the ladies?
They ain't here.
But
But the whole point is, though,
I
like
don't
if
know.
it does turn into a time travel thing, but
Listen, if it makes you comfortable, we could disrobe too. Like it's totally fine. Ian, you're
I
such a
I
naughty
don't even
boy.
care. Oh,
Listen, just from here up, like nip up would be. I
we're
mean,
okay with it. We're all about being our true selves.
so
So
yeah. Sonny, just hide the sex toy.
yeah, well, I put it away. Why are you free? Oh, you froze. I put it away. I hid it in my safe. So,
Ian,
but the
what are you
whole
up to? Are you?
okay, I put a T-shirt on. I'll put a
All
T-shirt
right.
on. Okay,
If this
cool.
party started, we could talk about the invite.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Ian being all dominant. Invite me again.
Do it now. I turned Terminator there. Did you hear it?
Yeah, I
I was
know.
like,
It's I
do
I
it
think
now.
I did. I literally did. Oh my!
He really is putting.
I really am putting a T-shirt on.
I
I
thought
was,
you were
I
just
was
being funny.
literally just about to go into the shower because I've been
Oh,
working out, and then I came across your thingy. Anyway,
I-
right, you
Ian,
got me.
you can go in the shower. It's not a problem.
Oh, but then I wouldn't be able to hear you because I've got the. Yeah.
That's okay,
But
but
then
the
I wouldn't be
camera.
able to hear you guys. Can
Wait,
you
Oh,
hear me?
but
yeah, we hear
I
you.
yeah, we can hear
All
you.
right, great.
How was
Okay.
your Lost reunion?
You guys talking? Were you talking about
Wait, what did
Stranger
you ask
Things?
him?
Well,
Oh,
did you
I said what?
watch?
Say it again. Do I watch Stranger Things?
Did you did you watch Stranger Things?
I watched the first season.
Oh, Ian, get
And then
out.
you stop. Oh, it's such a great show. I freaking love it. It's
Yeah,
so well written.
but it's not better than Lost.
No,
No.
I agree with that. Yeah, I kind
Ian,
of lost interest after the first season. I found the kids are very shouty.
yeah, they're annoying, right? I told you, Sonny.
Yeah, I thought if they were my kids, I was like, you can't speak like that. No, I'm sorry, you
Ian,
have
you
to go
look
to your room.
fantastic.
Thank you. Nice to see you guys.
Wait. Well, you do. You do look fantastic. But I have to mention one thing because
Yeah.
I mentioned this to Tina at the beginning of season 4 with Stranger Things. Matthew Modine is on there, and he's fantastic. Like he's fantastic.
No, he's not that
But
good.
they did this whole opening where you're not really supposed to know who they're showing. And
Oh
I
yeah,
told
I heard about
Tina,
that. Yeah.
yeah, and I said it's very
Very
reminiscent of
reminiscent of
Lost with
season two
Desmond.
opening. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
You got a quite big
I should check
problem
that
with
out. What season is that?
that's season
season.
4. It's like the first
It's
episode.
season 4.
Did they say it was like an homage to the opening of that season of Lost?
They didn't admit it,
But
but
what the
Come
fans
on.
said it was. It was too close.
but as a fan, I'm telling
Right.
you,
Yeah.
like I saw it, and I even told Tina, I'm like, did you notice? Like that was very reminiscent of
Huh.
Desmond.
I
You
need to check it
know,
out.
Yeah, we
yeah, you
kind of
gotta
we
check
kind
it
of
out.
connect you with everything. So if we see a commercial, we're like, Ian.
Hey, Ian, we got to tell you something. So I sent you a picture of it, but because of you, Tina and I had started talking, and through Twitter, she just came out to California and visited me for a week for my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday and how wonderful.
Thank you.
So I saw that you were having anxiety on the plane.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was waiting
Yeah.
for you to call me. I was
Oh
worried.
man, I should have done, but I wouldn't have helped you. I would have been terrible for you because I would have been.
The
I
plane's
know
going
I would have
down.
given you all the statistics of what's the most dangerous time when the plane goes down. It's usually at takeoff,
Uh,
and I would have given you all that bad stuff. So bad, and you made it, so it's good because
you're the
I'm
worst.
an anxious flyer as well.
You're the worst therapist I've ever met.
The worst. Yeah,
Well,
I
didn't
would
you
not.
used to be terrified of flying, Ian? Like, weren't you not a fan of flying?
I'm still not a fan of flying.
What?
But you do it
You're
all
an
the
actor.
time.
How do you
I
do
know.
it?
I hate it every time. Every time I hate it. I do it a
So
lot.
you get like the butterflies and like the anxiety and.
Uh, The anxiety, just the whole process, man. It's like you go to the airport and it's just designed to stress you out. It's just such an
Do you
uncomfortable.
do you think about us to calm you down?
Do I take what?
Do you think about
Do you
me and
think
Sonny
about
to calm you?
us to calm you
To
down?
calm you down? No, I just take I just take alcohol to calm me
Oh,
down.
that's right. The last
That's
convention,
right.
Ian said drink the
Yeah,
whole flight. I was just downing pills.
Yeah.
pills and alcohol.
Little
Yeah,
5-year-old kid next to me, I wanted to kick him across the plane, but you're not allowed to do that.
not
Yeah.
not
It's
on,
frowned upon.
who were you flying with? Who did you fly with?
JetBlue or JetBoo.
JetBlue. Yeah, you can't do that in JetBlue. They'll throw you off
I couldn't
mid-flight.
feel my ass when I landed.
You couldn't feel your ass?
No, it was really
Ah,
uncomfortable.
wow.
And, and Ian, I got to tell you the worst thing. So I'm like the worst friend in the world. So I had a few chores to do before I went to pick up Tina from the airport. So I took my son to get his haircut. Like we were doing a bunch of stuff. And my watch is normally connected to my phone. So if somebody sends me a message, it pops through, no big deal. So all of a sudden, I'm like, I haven't heard from Tina in a while. I'm looking at my watch. I'm like, that's really weird.
I
And
don't
then
have
all of a
anxiety.
sudden, I go, oh my God, where's my phone? And Tyler goes, I'll find it, right? Like, so, like, he's on it. We find it. The phone's dead. It was in the car. It overheated. I
Oh
couldn't get the
shit.
start back up. It took like 30 minutes. So by the time Tina was able to get in touch with me, it had been like 2 hours of her wondering where the hell I was. And
Oh
then she's
no,
like, oh,
there's
you're
nothing worse
ghosting
than
me.
arriving at the airport and your friend, your best friend who's meant to pick you up is a no-show and you're just
I
wandering
told her.
around
I
and
told
you're
her don't
phoning and they're
fucking
not
bother.
answering the phone. You're like, what?
I
Did you
told her
change your
don't.
mind? What
Yeah,
happened? You know,
Well, to
did you do
be
something?
fair, I made it up to her. I even took her flowers because I felt so bad. I was like,
That
these
was
are for
nice.
you.
I
I
said you're
felt,
still not getting me into bed.
yeah, that's what she
Wait, she
said.
didn't? She didn't get you to bed?
Well,
Quite
I don't know,
right.
but I
After
had
that, I wouldn't have either.
alcohol.
I would have not
So at
tonight.
least I tried.
But I'm glad you
Ian.
guys had a fun time. Did you have fun? Tina, did
Yeah.
you have fun
Oh,
in it?
fantastic. That's why I had messaged you. I know. I realized I didn't go into it, but I really wanted to thank you because she's kind of cool. You know.
Yeah, but you guys have met before, right?
No,
No,
Are you kidding me?
no,
You've never
never
met in
other
person?
than this. No.
you did that.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I feel kind of humbled and honored in a bizarre way.
Yeah.
I'm
You
glad,
should because we're
but you
gonna
had,
run this
but you've
room.
been so. I feel like I've spoken to you so many times on Zooms, and you get on so well, and it feels like you know each other, and
I don't
so
really
that's the
like it.
first time you've met. That's bizarre. That's
Yeah, it's the
crazy.
very first time. Well, it was
That's
really weird
wonderful.
too because I hugged her and I was like, "It's nice. It's nice to meet you." But like, we
Yeah.
know so much about each other because
Right.
we talk all the time,
Hmm.
and it's so weird to be like to have such a cool friendship with someone you've never
Never met.
even
Isn't that
never
crazy?
met. So,
Like,
but
No,
we had a
because we're best friends,
blast.
Ian.
Like, wait, what'd you say?
Me and Ian are best friends. We only met once.
Hey,
we only met once? I feel like I've met you more than once.
Well, I've been to all your online cons.
it's only been once for me too.
Is it really? That's so weird because I feel like I've met you. I feel like I know you more than just one meeting. I guess because we do Zooms and stuff.
Your fans are going nuts. Everyone's
What are they saying? We have to go
Desmond's gonna
back,
be in
bro.
Stranger Things 5.
Hang on, there's a lot of Arabic on there. What does that say? No idea.
Yeah, no, you don't want to know what they're saying.
Okay, why? What do they say?
They're
I
sexualizing
have
you and
no
Marcus
idea.
Kane.
They're sexual. How do you know? Can you speak Arabic?
I get a little
She
here and
makes
there.
it up. She pretends she can speak.
I'm pretty sure the
Marcus
Arabic is
Kane.
not sexual.
Marcus Kane is dominant. Marcus Kane is dominant. That's what
I'm
she
pretty sure that. Hey, Elo, can you? Hey, Larry Sucrash from Trinidad. Yes, Larry. Hello. So Larry and I went to school together.
Are
He
you
just
kidding
popped up
me?
there. No, he was just there. I just saw his name pop up. Larry's from Trinidad, and we went to school together in San
That's
Fernando.
so cool.
Yeah. So nice
Ian,
to see you, Larry. Well,
how
not
There's
see
was
a
it?
you.
lot of people in here.
How was it hanging out with your lost buddies?
Oh, you saw that? That was yeah, that was crazy. That was kind of like
Saw
a
that. Ian,
very
that was
Those were
huge.
coolers.
yeah. Isn't that how weird how they went all over? I saw something on People and EW, and I think it was
Yeah.
who took that photo. I think Dan posted it, and then Josh reposted it, and then I reposted it. But yeah, we had a very very it was
Hi,
lovely seeing
Sylvia.
each other, lovely hanging out. Very very 4 days of Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, pretty much hammered the whole time. Played with the
That's
band,
nice.
and
You were
Yeah,
hammered the whole
Josh
time?
sang, and yeah, it was
Oh,
fun.
that's nice.
That's awesome.
I would
Well,
like to be
my
hammered.
niece just, about my niece just had this really, Peter. Well, okay, so my niece
No,
just
I
had her
meant you.
graduation party, and as a party favor, they gave out. I'm trying to Fireball. Have you ever had Fireball?
Fireball, is that whiskey?
Let me see what it is. That's
What is
a
that?
good question.
She's gonna go
All I
find a
know is
bottle.
after I have it, I crave
If it's
sugar like
cheap
nobody.
alcohol, probably yes, I've had it.
Yeah, so it's this stuff. I still have it.
What is that? Oh no, I don't.
Uh,
I've never seen that. It's like
it's
that looks
cinnamon
like
whiskey.
cinnamon whiskey.
So good. It's delicious, but it'll knock you. Well, for me, because I'm a lightweight, so
No, you know
um,
what? Fireball. It sounds like something I might have
oh, it's
like cane
delicious.
sugar. Then again, I might have had
Oh,
that too. I don't know.
it's so
Anyway, I
good.
just popped on to say hi. I'm gonna jump in the shower because I gotta go take something to my son. So,
Well, thank you for
just wanted to
jumping
say
on.
hi.
Ian. We, as you know,
Yeah,
we
no
love
problem.
you, we
Impromptu
adore
hello.
you, and
Please carry on talking about Stranger Things, and
okay.
I'll
No,
catch up on that
we
season.
want to
Okay,
talk about
and
you.
I
Bye.
will come at it properly. I will come on properly. Okay, I promise.
Ian, thank you so much. Seriously, we miss
Yeah,
all
Okay,
of
thank
you.
you for
lots of
being
growth.
here, Ian. We love you. Bye.
Okay, love you
Bye.
guys. Talk to you later. All right,
Love you.
bye bye. Bye.
Well, that was very cool. Like, that was awesome. Only our favorite actor ever, but if you follow the podcast, then you know we talk about Ian all the time. Tina, are you going to be okay?
I thought that was so sweet. Oh my
Oh,
god.
somebody just put, okay, fine, bye. Well, you don't have to leave. We still like you. Uh,
No, listen, all you guys that are
Hi,
still here,
Sylvia.
Sylvia, yeah, just so you are aware, he is coming on the podcast as he said himself. We weren't supposed to say anything until it was for sure, but
But now
we
that
don't
he
know
made
when.
it public.
So Sylvia, we're gonna ask all those questions. I think he hopped on just to say hi, which was really sweet. And so I didn't want to bombard. Huh? That's my agree kid too. Oh, T-Mobile. My
Wish
mom likes my
could have
sons.
told us. Yeah. What's the
You
podcast
guys,
name? The podcast
listen.
name is The Box People.
It is the
And
box people.
yeah, and you can see several of our episodes are already up on YouTube. And you'll find clips on TikTok. But we are also here on Instagram, which is where we've been doing a lot of our lives.
But we are gonna ask him all these things that you guys are talking about. MacGyver, if
Yeah,
he
we
knows
have a
anything. Season 6. We're gonna have him say brother, if he's not annoyed by that.
well, not only that, but the thing is, we have already a list of what we want to talk to him about, and he's a cool dude. Like, we've been lucky enough to talk to him like
Yeah.
through the Zoom things because we've done the virtual cons, and we have each met him like because of a cons, not like we're hanging out in his backyard or anything. But just a super cool dude, as you know. But we've talked about him on the podcast several times. So, if you guys want to give us a follow, then you could keep tabs on when he's coming on.
Oh,
So,
thank you, J
we're
Mac.
excited.
Y'all just gained a
Yeah,
new fan.
thank you.
Listen, we've been
JMac. I
working.
like that name. That's cool, JMac.
Oh,
Congrats.
thank you, Jonah
Oh, thank
James.
you, Jonah.
Listen, we've been trying. Like, we kept it under wraps because, Ian could get a job tomorrow, and we can't be like mad at him
Thank
for not
you.
being. Oh, Sylvia, don't worry, Sylvia. You're gonna get a.
Well, we just got a new follow too, so thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you guys. We didn't expect that. But that's just the kind of guy Henry and Cusick is. This is what he does with fans, and if you guys heard, he
He's
is the
super
reason why.
supportive. Like, he's always been supportive of us, and we talked to him about the podcast a long time ago about not about coming on, but we had mentioned to him that we were doing it during one of the cons.
Yeah. Hi,
And he was
Mama.
kind of kind of excited for us. And then we've been in talks with him for a guy, like, I don't know, a few months now about him coming
Oh,
on. He's been
it's been at
really
least
wanting to come on. And we
no.
were
It was
actually
before the
scheduled
new
a couple
year.
of times, and then he had to cancel, which was so disappointing. But But we love Ian. Ian's a good guy, and so
Since when do you know Henry? Well, I first met Ian in Atlanta in 2019. Sonny met him also in 2019 before me in
and plus I
Michigan.
worked for a company where he was the spokesperson. He's still the spokesperson for the company.
And we
I
don't. It's
know,
not. It's not that we know him personally. We're not trying to give
yeah.
out that vibe. You know, we are just big fans of his, and this is just how he treats his fans. This is not a big surprise, but yeah.
But I
So it's
did
not.
just put in, just in case you guys are curious and you don't know this about Ian, he's the spokesperson for a company called Jambio. So I just put it in the comments in case you guys wanted to check it out. Some of his stories are up there. If you
Yeah.
look on YouTube and you look up Jam Bios, you'll see a lot of these cool videos he did for Jam Bios. But I got to work for Jam Bios for a little bit, so I got to live in Hawaii for a short time. And so I didn't like hang out with Ian in Hawaii or anything like that. I don't want to give off that impression because that's not what happened. But he was real kind when all that was going on. Like, even took the time to ask about my son and how my son was doing it with it. That's okay. Don't let it get to you. He really is
Ian,
a
no.
beautiful person.
Yeah, Ian. But what I wanted to say, you guys that are still here, follow us and DM us any questions you want us to ask Ian. We will include your or your name, and we will get those questions to him depending on how much time he's able to give us. But you can only do that by following us. You send us a message. And Sylvia, take care. Don't worry, we got you.
Sylvia,
Yeah,
thank
keep
you
it
for
real.
coming by. You're always awesome. We appreciate you always supporting us, Sylvia.
Thank you for the follows. We will be following
Kelly,
everybody
you
back.
missed
Hi,
Ian.
Kelly. Sylvia, DM the questions. You already followed. Sylvia, you're number one fan. Don't worry. You and Patty Ann and Kelly. Kelly's okay. I got a little beef
I
with Kelly,
love
but
Kelly. Kelly's a rock star, the black belt rock star.
that's right.
So
Block Kelly.
no, that's not what I meant. No, she's a black belt with Taekwondo. So she's a tough girl.
Ian looks fantastic, huh?
Ian looked really good. He really did look like he was working
Oh,
out. And when he was like, I'm naked, that like threw me for a loop. I didn't know what to do. And then and then he's like, and then he shows up and he's like, he really was putting on a shirt. If that didn't shock me, I was like, whoa.
does that mean he had no pants on? Oh my!
I don't know, but we're gonna this video is
Look
gonna
at
be on
Sylvia. Look
Instagram.
at Sylvia naked.
Well, that's what he says, Sylvia. I don't know if you're able to go back and look and
Look at
okay, so
Sylvia.
here's what happened, Sylvia, is that he joined, right, to watch. Tina, I wasn't going to ask him if he wanted to join because I felt like he'd say no. But then Tina was like, did you want to come on? I think he ignored the first one and then was like, ask me again.
Well,
And
no, he
so,
said
but
I'm
first he was
naked.
like, I'm naked. And then he said, I'm putting a shirt on. And sure enough, he pops on and he's putting a shirt on.
Ian Cusick. Oh my
I
god.
was like bright red. So if you go back, you could see me blush.
Well,
Yeah,
we're gonna post. We're gonna
yeah.
post this. I mean, I expected people to leave when Ian left. We're not going to. We're not celebrities. Obviously, we're a small time podcast
I
that
don't
started.
I don't know who this is, but I love okay, so it's DMACPINK_23, but I love their comment. It's right above Kelly's comment.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. It's so true.
D Mac Pink 23. Thank you.
See, you're better at stuff like that. I'm like, I don't know what this is. So I just
Well,
spelled it out. Like
listen
THT.
again. We're not touting anything. We didn't expect this. We don't know him
Bye.
like
Thank you
that.
for coming by.
Oh, bye, abstinent.
Absent canoe.
Bye, Sylvia. We're not celebrities. Don't say that.
But we will be soon.
We will be. Yeah.
Ah, Sylvia, you're the sweetest. I look like I just woke up after sleeping all
Sylvia
day.
said naked.
I freaking love Sylvia, man. She is like so supportive and stuff, man. Like that's just awesome. So
We didn't see it. Just to be clear, we did not see.
we did not
Ian's,
see anything. We could, yeah. Bye, Sylvia. Thank you for
bye,
coming
Sylvia.
by. Mwah.
We, he put a shirt on.
He did put her shirt on. That part was both really exciting and really like, oh,
Inshallah. Naked
naked
swoon. Bye.
swoon. I love her. She just keeps going back to naked. It's like tractor.
Well, it's true because that's you gotta love that about Ian. Like he does not give a fuck. He's gonna tell you what's on his mind. You know what I'm saying? And I love that about him. He's so cool. He's so like uninhibited. He's like hanging out with the Lost guys. They're hammered the whole time. You wouldn't want it any other way. And then you're showing him your fireball. Oh, thank you, Lam Omar.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Listen, we're not looking to be celebrities. We're just looking to talk to them.
If anyone knows Johnny Depp, get that ball on here.
Not Amber Heard. Don't tell her about us.
Yeah, I like my bed just the way it is. But my dog did step on a bee. Okay, so listen, we really got to get back to Stranger Things, though, for anyone who was watching for the Stranger Things, though. So let's just wrap it up. And that's just to say that I don't like season 5. I feel like it's going to be one of those things where we're going to go through most of the season. And it's going to be this time travel thing. And then I feel like I know, me too. I am with you. The very last episode is going to be like maybe 5 years in the future when we see where everybody's at. But my concern with that is a lot of people not knowing each other if it is a time travel thing and they're able to stop things. But I just wanted to wrap that part up because we had been talking about it and we did have someone following us for a while watching. So I just wanted to make sure that, that we did, do that. So, but if you were watching and you do know us, then you know that Tina was just out here in California and she did get to visit me. And so her birthday's the 30th, mine's the 5th, and we got to spend our birthdays together. We had never met before and we totally got to hang out for a week. It was awesome. And I already miss her being here. So,
you too. Vecna is a beast, Kelly. And by the way,
oh wait, Kelly, so you did finish all the seasons?
No. She said she's on season 4, so I don't know what part yet.
Okay.
Kelly, don't watch this video until you can watch the Ian part.
Yeah, don't watch this video until you finish it because there will be spoilers.
That's what I wanted to say. Those of you that joined just because of Ian, girl, bye.
No, don't say that. That's not even true. You are welcome here.
Sonny, I'm kidding.
Don't say that to them.
I'm kidding.
This is the great thing about this podcast is we will argue for you.
Oh yes,
I feel you saying like Eddie.
Kelly, don't say anything. Kelly is.
Well, we said there'd be spoilers. Fair.
I know, but he said Eddie though. That could mean a million things. I'm just saying, don't spoil it for Kelly or whoever else.
Kelly's here, and we said there'd be spoilers. So guess what, Kelly? I'm just kidding.
Last time Kelly was like, I don't care about nothing.
Well, what killed me with Kelly last time, we're like, hey, do you watch Stranger Things? And during the last podcast, the one I accidentally deleted, and she's like, yeah, I watch it. And then she gets on. We're like, you want to join the conversation? No, don't leave, Kelly. We love you. Please don't leave me. And so anyway, Kelly gets on and she's talking with us, and then she goes, yeah, I've watched like 4 episodes of season 1. It was like the funniest freaking thing to me. I freaking love Kelly. Like, it was so funny.
D-Mac Pink, don't worry. Kelly's a black belt, but she's also
wait, who's got a chill? We love you, Kelly. Kelly, say you love us back. We need to hear it.
Say it, Kelly. We're going to tell Ian.
We need to hear that you love us, Kelly. Kelly, tell us. Hey, Kelly, can we get your message? Can we get it? Can I have it?
Can I get it?
Can I get it? Oh, girl, I respect you. I see what you're saying. I'll just go over here. Can I get it? Can I have it? Kelly's like, I don't even know what that's from, but it's a really funny skit. You gotta watch it.
Really quick, in case you guys didn't see this, you were under a rock. Henry and Cusick that played Desmond, Daniel Day Kim that played Jin, and
Josh Holloway who played Sawyer.
They hung out. There's pictures all over.
Can
I get your number?
Can I get it?
It was like a mini Lost reunion. And the way Ian said, this is how You saw that? Yeah, Ian. It was a big deal. Like
It
it
was
was huge. The way
freaking
Ian was
loving
like,
it. But then he was like, "Oh, but it was on People, like in EW," and I was like, "So of course we saw it."
it was
I mean,
all
what
over.
bigger than People in EW? What the box
I
people?
don't even know what EW are
I
people.
don't
I
even know
only
what
know.
that is. I'm busy with my own things and my own lunches, and you know.
It's such a shame that he had to put a shirt on. I mean, he knows we're like
I
cool
mean,
with
if
it.
he really cared about the box people, he would have just sat in a box completely naked.
He would have just stayed boxed in.
He would have said, "Yeah, box in." He would have been
That
like, "Let's
that
get in
was
that red pickup truck."
that, that was
That's
so
from
cool.
an old Fawn. When we talked to him, there was this joke about the red pickup. So like, get in the truck.
Down girl.
Down, girl. Nah.
I don't
Nah.
know. I don't know if the rest of you know this, but Ian's really fucking funny. He's fucking hilarious. It's ridiculous.
He is funny. He's got a
He's
good
such a
sense of humor.
down to earth dude.
Yeah, he's a good guy. But yeah, he blew our minds when he jumped on. We hadn't expected it. We had not talked to him about it. He did message the group earlier today, but it was in response to one of her stories. Um, and even that was funny. I'm not going to tell you which one he responded to, but you might be able to figure it out if you see it. But good times. But we just wanted to jump on, talk about Stranger Things and what our predictions were for the
Ah,
next season.
yes.
I do think that Jonathan's going to get caught in a lie real quick for Stranger Things about, he was like, "Oh, I didn't hear from the college," whatever. I did want to mention that part. And I do think that Nancy is probably going to just walk away from both of them because Nancy's now, I didn't realize a lot of fans didn't like her. I love Nancy. And I dig Robin. I think Robin's a freaking hoot, man. Like, she's
I
just fantastic.
oh, happy Eid. D Mac Pink. I just want to say, I think that's a fucking brilliant idea that they do a special like Harry Potter. I don't know. Sunny's not a fan or she hasn't seen it, but Harry Potter did this thing where after all these years, everyone came together and talked about it. I think that's a fantastic idea. I think I would like to mention that to him when he does come on. But I wanted to say, yeah, Eid Mubarak. Yes.
Who's that?
Happy Eid to all our Muslim brother and sisters.
Oh,
Um,
sorry.
no. What did I want to say? I wanted to say thank you so much to Ian. He's got a lot of cool stuff coming out. So also check out his son, Lucas. He's at Sakul Music. He has some like crazy, awesome songs. Yeah, you guys need to follow Kelly. She's a cool chick.
Kelly
Follow
is awesome.
follow each other. Make friends. Do nice. Be nice on the internet. You don't gotta
Yeah.
be a dick.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Yes. And continue supporting Ian. Support us.
And the
Support
Bucks people.
support Sunny. Not talking as much.
That's an inside joke. I'm really great with the jokes. And the
Remember when
voice.
you said I support Amber Heard? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I support Amber. Shut the fuck up. Everybody was like, "What do you mean you support her?" And I was
Kelly,
like, "No, like
you were
read the whole
fucking up.
thing." Kelly's
Kelly.
amazing.
Kelly.
Oh, and then if you guys don't mind, for those of you that are here, if you could also like, subscribe, and share on YouTube. We got a lot of posts over there. This will be made public. We are going to. There's a reason I didn't start the live this time because last time, Kelly, you remember when you were on, I accidentally deleted the whole video. So go me. But anyway,
All right, let's wrap it up.
so you guys, thank you for joining tonight. And with that, I'm going to do it like this because I can't. I'm also holding my phone. But with that, we like to say, are you going to do it, Tina, or what? Okay, with that, people out. We love you guys. Thanks for joining. Mwah.
Bye, Cal. Bye, everybody. Thank you.